Good evening, Bruin fans, and welcome to a special Something Bruin with Coach Cook. Here we are on location here on the campus of Western Branch High School here at Art Brander Stadium. And Coach Cook, how you doing today?
I'm good, Rags. I can't complain. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, and hey, we're 6 weeks in. You know, down the stretch. A line from horse racing. I mean, final 4 games of the regular season, and good old Great Bridge there tomorrow. Nothing like a good old traditional Southeastern District rivalry.
Yeah. Well, can't complain. We like where we are. We would love to be undefeated and all those things that come with it. But our boys are working hard. They're competing at a high level. We do have Great Bridge. I think I saw on Max Preps we're 10-2 against Great Bridge in the last 10 years. Quality opponent. They put up a lot of points last week too, Rags. And we've been preparing all week. We're excited where we are. We just got to push through 1 week at a time.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, when Southeastern District, good old traditional rivalry. I mean, when we're talking about wrestling, baseball, and then football, throw out the records. It's good old Western Branch, Great Bridge. I mean, recent principals from both schools were opposite alums, led the other schools, and then our longtime friend and mentor, Coach Jay, a Great Bridge alum, but a longtime Western Branch. So a lot of connections here over the years.
Correct, absolutely. And a lot of rich history from the 90s and 80s all the way up to now. Again, I just the SED for us is exciting, week to week. Again, they put up big points last week versus Grassfield, so it's a team we can't take lightly. It's a rivalry game, Rags. You throw out all the all the records, man. You got to bring it on that night, and it's their homecoming, so those guys gonna be extra excited as well. So we got to get ready to go into a hostile environment and compete at a high level and look to come out 1-0.
Well, not to, and this might be a little bulletin board, but a little fun fact here with Western Branch and with Coach Gibson being on your staff.
Yes.
When he was the head coach out at Great Bridge, I think it was their homecoming, and Josh Mariner ended up having a career game. So look forward to watching the Bruins out there tomorrow night.
Correct. Better bundle up though, right?
Yeah.
It's the season now, man. We're excited. It's football weather. It's what we all wait for. I've said it. A lot of our staff has said it. Got to be crazy to play this game. You train in the winter. You really put in the summer conditioning to win championships in the cold weather, cold fall. Winter months, man. So you got to be a little wired to play this game and even coach this game as well. But it's something we love.
Right, and you bring up homecoming. I mean, the middle of October is usually homecoming season. It's Great Bridge tomorrow. It's ours next Friday. There's because of family and adulthood, work schedules and everything. The 95 class is having something this weekend because next weekend didn't work out. And the 95 class, when they were seniors, I think the fall of 94, I think you and Keith and your class were freshmen.
Correct.
There in that season.
Yeah, absolutely. And I remember getting moved up that year, ward number 28, and just played the last 3 games. Deep Creek, Oscar Smith, and it's one more school, probably Maury. I can't remember, but yeah, that was a good year. We went 7-3, I believe, and Dre and Jeff Liker and all those guys were leading the charge. So, without a doubt, I walked into something that was already brewing, if that makes sense.
That's right. Hey, and that's the thing. I mean, like I've said before, moved here in '87, so my brother, was here, and you saw the progression of Coach Jay's team. Then when my brother graduated in '91, then I was here, through my time and my classmates, and then there with the class of '95 when they were seniors. Also a shout out there to Wake Forest alum Todd Hollowell, and hey, we can't forget Coach J's son Brian.
Absolutely.
But just with that, and Brad Priest and Richie Coyle, just to name a few. But that kind of set the foundation here as your class was coming through, and then cultivated y'all's senior year with an undefeated regular season.
Absolutely. And again, can't take that year lightly, but we're also missing the class of '96.
Right.
But that '95 season where we went 8-2.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of guys with that number 5 ending in a year that made huge impacts here, Rags, at Western Branch High School. But yeah, '97 was a special year. Hate to keep bringing it up, but it's a part of history. So we're excited where, that whole group kind of propelled Coach Jay and the rest of the Bruins to come right behind and pile up district titles and regional championships. And in the '02, they had a state semifinal finish, just like our 22 class did several years ago.
Right. And, hey, with the '96, I know that Lorenzo and Chiron listen to this. And, I know the Magic Johnson, he told me to go live last week. And I was like, hey, it's my anniversary. So I'm just keeping updates,
No doubt.
But, hey, Bruin alums, and definitely like Rick Corey reaching out to me. Frank Carmines was the Western Branch alum that played at Wake. So even here through this year, we've just noticed here you just can't hide that Bruin pride.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So again, so many guys have paved the way. Being on so many recruiting visits and listening to other coaches, I would like to say all of our coaches that have been leaders in this program have developed cornerstones, if that makes sense. And that's how the tradition stays the tradition. So it's not just one guy that has really created that. It's 6 of us, 7 of us that have really put a cornerstone on the foundation of Western Branch High School, and we take that with nothing but pride.
Right.
There you go.
That's right. And with the '95 class having something starting tomorrow, definitely Dr. Gregory. I mean, he definitely started helping with the program when his son played, but then Paige, who graduated there in '95, and just their dad just staying consistent here with being the unofficial Western Branch doctor here, that Dr. Gregory. And hey, if you're listening out there, Dr. Gregory, I'd like to get you on a podcast here to talk about, over the years with his involvement and seeing the changes.
Correct.
With but here's somebody that had 2 kids and had a daughter there in the '95 class and supported the football program.
And still rolling.
Yeah.
He was on the sideline last Friday. So, shout out Dr. Gregory. Many years of contribution to West Branch High School, West Branch football program, and so many of us as athletes, he's been able to help, push us through, if that makes sense. So, yes, absolutely.
Right. And the thing is I know that the school has, or the school system has a contract with, CHKD over the years, but, nothing like the long time, support that Dr. Gregory has shown here, not only with football, but other athletics here at the school.
Absolutely. And I think he's still engaged. I don't know the magnitude, but he kind of sets the tone for the year, support CHKD trainers. So there are certain meetings where during COVID and coming out, the return to almost full play, he was a part of those committees and conversations of how to have our best but safe practices, if that makes sense. So again, he's a man of man.
Right.
You know what I mean? He gets it done, and got a lot of respect for him.
Yeah, and last week at Kings Fork, we talked about it after we were done taping. 2 years ago, we go over there.
Correct.
And a shower right at kickoff. And then we come back on Saturday, and just those delays just take you out of the and the lightning strikes.
Correct.
was what the issues were. But our team was ready
Yes.
to play.
Correct.
And they fought hard there for 48 minutes.
Correct. Our team came prepared. We don't make excuses, but we were down 5 starters, and our boys still competed at a high level. So it's that next man up mentality. 14-7. In the third quarter, deep into the third quarter. The biggest thing for us, especially getting ready for playoffs and competing for playoffs, I think that's something we need to bring up after I share this. But once you see adversity, we got to come up with find a way to fight through it. And I think when we had a turnover, we didn't know how to respond. And we want to see our boys be able to answer the bell coming right back, because we have plenty of opportunities to get right back into the game, Mark. And, that's the biggest thing I would like to see our guys be able to do the next 3 weeks, and then finishing our season finale at Oscar Smith. Is fight through adversity. When it strikes, how do we respond back?
Right, and with tomorrow's road game, at Great Bridge, then we have, back-to-back home games, so we have a stretch here where we can get back on track with. I know that the fans look at the weekly ratings and everything, but a little difference here in 6A region this year with only 9 high schools, so only 6 get in, with the top 2 seeds having buys. 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5. So here we are, 7th game of the season, and let's just take one game at a time.
Correct. And I share that with our guys in our team chat, and just tell them earn it. Like, we got to win out, not undefeated 4-0, but we got to win every game. Each week matters, because they're only taking 6.
Right.
So they're going to be 2 teams, regardless of record, that won't be in. That's 7 and 8 seed. So for us, every game is important. And I shared it with our guys. We get caught up in the local top 15, local, media top 25, but we're missing the regional information, which is a huge thing, So, again, we had a pretty good week of practice. Our boys understood the assignment, for lack of better terms, this week, and they came every single day, and they've been building every single day. It was tough coming out of that Indian River loss. A lot of our young men were hanging on to that, and I know Trent Dilford was just released of his job at UAB, but I shared with so many players, Trent Difford's philosophy that was shared to him. We're focusing on a small dot on a big sheet of paper. And that's our last 2 losses going into last Friday. And the bigger picture is we were 3-2. Yeah. We're still 3-3. And we got another opponent, regardless of, that we got to prepare for. So our young men really, the ones that I did share it with, took that information and really applied it coming into that game against Kings Fork, and then also coming out of it. So, definitely pleased where we are, but we're not taking Great Bridge lightly either. Their offensive coordinator does a great job getting his athletes in space, Defensively, they're going to pin their ears back and play ball. So for us, we just got to be disciplined, pay attention to details, execution is key, and play Bruin ball,
Right. And for the fans out there, it's just like, private school, where 1A all the way up through 6A is based on enrollment. So during the regular season, yes, we are part of the Southeastern District. Yes, we do play a district schedule. But, after that 10th game, and after that first weekend in November, then the regular season's over, and even though the area has a top 15, it's now, okay, what region are you guys? Let's seed And all right, now it's part 2 of the season.
Correct, brand new season, right?
Right.
Brand new season. And that's the beauty about this show. When we get to October, that's like one of the funnest times, right? Because we can use baseball terms for football related, things. But we're just focused on Great Bridge. We're excited about homecoming next week. A lot of the class that end in 5-0. The spring schedule that came out, they had to make some adjustments too. And then when Max Preps, which we look forward to seeing the official schedule came out, we were 1 week ahead when the original schedule came out compared to the one we currently, competing at. So no miscommunication or ill will to any class that is celebrating this weekend over next weekend, if that makes sense. But yeah, we're excited just again to see our guys come back out and compete, Mark. Compete as one Bruin. In my time, it was big team, little me. So, I like to see how they come out tomorrow. The words that we use have resurfaced. Sometimes you start camp and you have this buzz and then you hit a wall and that buzz just kind of fades, you know what I mean? But we started reinserting the words that really started our purpose this upcoming season, and that's fly around on the hop and bring the Bruin energy.
Right. Yeah, and before I forget, I mean, we, especially when you talk about the class of 95, and here we are, just one door over from the Dre Bly locker room.
Yes.
We definitely can't forget our boy Dre Bly there from that class.
Not at all. Not at all. We'll probably get a text. It's Dre Bly's weight room.
That's right.
Weight room. Thank you for that donation, Dre. I hope we made you proud. We made some renovations and things of that nature. Without a doubt, man. I mean, it's great to see, former players give back to this program, and our kids really appreciate it. It's one where we take it for granted. It's another when we get to walk in a historic building like this and be able to enjoy all the things that it still offers.
Right, and if my memory serves me well, I think he was recognized for that donation 20 years ago at his 10-year reunion.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I did see a lot of Facebook posts at the time, but I wasn't able to be here during that time frame. Right. But, again, it's history here. Art Brandreth Sportsplex, a sports complex, you name it. So just a lot of history. Dre is Western Branch, if that makes sense. Just as much as he's UNC or the Rams. So without a doubt, we love and appreciate him.
Yes, listening to lockers open and close, and so we know that JV is getting ready, and
correct.
Just seeing Coach E, lead the JV squad week in and week out,
correct.
And as we started this, Great Bridge just showed up, so they're about ready here to battle Great Bridge JV.
Yes, they are. Again, I think the last 2 weeks have been very competitive practices. We're kind of getting this, offense and defense and special teams for JV on track. A lot of talent, an abundance of talent with this class that just came in, and the sophomores that are competing and juniors with these guys. So, we're excited about tonight. I said, go get him, E.
Right.
I'm excited for him to go out and get his first win. I'm not putting anything into the atmosphere, but when you practice, that's your win. That's your victory when you practice as hard as those young men did this week and last week. So their time overdue. I'm excited for Coach Windley, too, to call the offense and get that going on track and playing to the strength of these young men. And looking forward to them to be able to compete, Mark, and come out 1-0 tonight.
Yeah, that will be great here for, it also be great here to springboard into, Friday Night Lights.
Yes.
There tomorrow. So go get them, JV Bruins, and, nice evening, to play this. No more rain. Right. No more heat on game days.
Yes, that and I feel was able to breathe a little bit this week. We host middle school sports as well, football in particular, and we only have one contest at home this week. But yeah, it's a beautiful night, man. I'm excited, and tomorrow's gonna be even better. Just bring a throw blanket, right?
Yeah, right.
I don't think we're quite near the first frost, but at the same time, our bodies aren't used to 51-degree temperature in the fourth quarter. But yeah, we're again, it's Western Branch. We say it very humbly. We take pride in being a Bruin. We take pride in working. And our kids are excited about this week, both programs and our coaches as well. We just need to focus on 1 week at a time. And that could sound so cliche, but at the same time, once kids understand, I guess whatever the outcome of a game is, you got to move on and get ready.
Right.
That 1 week at a time hits different,
Right.
So I'm excited about this week. Again, we did a great job, too, making sure we kept our guys healthy. Couple practices and couple weeks of a lot of rain. We had a couple injuries that we easily wanted to make sure we could prevent, and we did that this week. So we did a very good job from a training staff, coaching staff, to make sure our boys were able to get the best quality practice over the quantity of practices.
Yeah. And also for the Bruin fans that might not be, this might be the first year that your kid is part of varsity football. Just remember that Great Bridge plays at the middle school right off of Mount Pleasant, so if you want to beat that high-rise traffic, plenty of places to eat, pregame meal there on Battlefield Boulevard here, and then right there in the back of Great Bridge Middle is the football field, and with it being their homecoming, you definitely want to get there early.
Correct, absolutely. That's one of my first venues I went to.
Right.
When my oldest brothers were playing, and it was it was a game that got moved to a Saturday, so it elevated it even more.
Right.
But it's another historic venue, much like Deep Creek, and just some of the staples. I know, like Oscar Smith, they had a new one built in '94, I believe. So, without a doubt, just take your time, get over the high rise. I sound like you now, man, huh? I sound like you, and I don't know the extra turns that you got to make. He can do that, but it's going to be a good night to see high school football and, watch young men compete. I love where football is. We're getting away from competing for scholarships, and now we're getting back to competing for others and letting the scholarships fall where they may, if that makes sense. So just some good old-fashioned football tomorrow.
That's right. And Rashad, to piggyback on your point, I mean, we moved here the middle of August of '87, and with my brother being a freshman, he wanted to play JV football. Well, since he didn't come till the middle of August, end of August, was starting to practice, he had to sit out some games before he could actually play.
Right.
Well, the first one that he got in as a Western Branch JV Bruin there his freshman year was at Great Bridge Middle. So I'm right there with you, where that place is, definitely a memory there for Ragsdale and for people that know us. You know that my brother didn't fulfill the football career with pitching, but definitely he went out there for JV.
Correct.
Their fall of '87 in Great Bridge Middle. So it's so if you take 168, it's the first Mount Pleasant, and then it shows up there on your left. So Rashad, any final tidbits here?
Just keep supporting Western Branch. Keep supporting the Rag Show. Definitely a good energy. This is for sure not scripted, right? We always say it, but this is for sure no script. But we do it out of our hearts. We do it, out of our minds. We do it for the Bruin pride. But keep supporting our young men. Not only our football program, but all the programs here: cheerleading, swim, volleyball, golf, you name it. Just keep pouring into our kids that are competing for our community of Western Branch.
Yes, and I know that field hockey and you bring up swimming. I mean, right around the corner here as fall sports. Golf just finished, and other fall sports are coming to their end of the regular season, and postseason is right on the horizon. Well,
Correct.
then as soon as fall closes, then you have winter sports gearing back up.
Yep.
So, but yeah, keep supporting the Bruins, and next week here as we as something Bruin here will preview the homecoming game as we host Grassfield. But first things first, Great Bridge JV here tonight, and then it's Bruins varsity goes to Great Bridge there tomorrow night at 7.
Correct.
So,
Absolutely.
Rashad, thanks again for your time, and here we were on location.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you.
All right.
Yep. Go Bruins.
Go Bruins.